Welcome to the Rick Bork channel, where the beer's always cold, language fucking sucks, my shit's always broken, and your opinion doesn't matter. Borkfest 2022 is July 29th and 30th, so come on over and have a beer and have a good time, and you can regret yourself later. Now you'll notice this caliper on this side is cut different than the other one. It has these, how it is, I guess. Whatever. And you'll also notice I screwed up. Put the bleeders on the bottom. These ones are switchable, so I guess we'll have to do that, right? Where's my hardware? Okay, so we're going to take you through a brake pad job on one of these without doing rotors and calipers. So this one's 17 mil. And yeah, you're not supposed to beat the shit out of your hands like that, whatever. Haunts me every day, trust me, I know. Okay. So go ahead, take your two caliper bolts out. You might need a small pry bar or your wrench. Use your wrench too. Pop the caliper loose. Flip that up there on top. Slide your pads out. These ones are thin-ish. The left side was worse. I already did the driver's side. It's kind of nice to get a fresh start. Now this one has a couple of stuck pins in it. So we're gonna have to go ahead and take the caliper bracket off, and then we're gonna have to free up these pins. We might try sticking a crescent wrench on them while it's on here and just see if they'll free up. While we're here, we're gonna remove the old hardware, get that out of there. So I'm gonna grab a crescent wrench and we'll see if those will happen to move or not. The hardware goes in the small scrap bin. Oh, that one moves. No problem. See, this one moves. Yep. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop them out of there. And we'll just lube them up. Kind of happy about that. It's cold too, so the grease in here is probably a little bit thick, but pry bar, hammer, chisel, whatever, drive them out. You can work them back and forth too if you want when you're trying to drive them out, but oh yeah. See how dry that pin is? All grody and grimy. I'll get that other one out of there. The other side was nice and clean. They were just a little bit more worn. Okay, take your boots off your pins, save them. You're gonna need those again. Perfect. Okay, penetrating oil. These holes in the back here, shoot a little in there. Whoops. And shoot some all over yourself, that way you smell good later. Fuck's sake. See that? Oh, it's good. Wife will like how that smells. This one's not so bad. Green Rolock disc on there. Buffer down a little bit. You want a pretty much half worn out disc. That one's probably a little bit aggressive, but half worn down. That way it number 2 semi-synthetic NLGI. Put our boot back over our pin. That pin should slide in there nice and easy. So this one the boot doesn't want to go in because the boot has to sit inside that caliper, so we're going to have to go ahead and put that in first. Not a big deal. That way it seals up correctly. I don't know. There we go. one in. So we'll go ahead and put this one in. That one's ready. Other pin. This one's far worse. Now you'll see when I get it cleaned up. I expected it to be pitted and it's not, so it's all right. I'm sure you're buffing them pins down good. If those pads were stuck in here, you'd want to take this apart and clean up these surfaces where your anti-rattle clips go. So now you can see that pin's pretty damn cleaned up. Smooth, all that stuff. Again, semi-synthetic and LGI number 2. You can put as much as you want on there, but when you push it into the fucking hole, most of it's coming back out anyway. But it does make a nice little seal on the end there, having a little extra grease on there. So make sure it moves back and forth nice and free. Hardware. Pop them in, make sure they go in nice and easy. Again, if not, go ahead and clean up your bracket. The bracket on this is not in too bad a shape, so. Okay, a couple different ways you can compress your caliper back. They make this tool for doing it. Most people don't have that, right? You can go buy one if you want one laying around in your garage. I know, like $100. Some guys have these laying around, and I know the guys at the shop use them. A lot of guys use them. You stick your end in here, and you back this down until you're just squeezing a little bit, and then you go back and forth between the two. So you can see I did a little there, a little bit more. This side, same thing. And so you just tighten the screw a little bit and you walk them in a little at a time. This tool works like a caulk gun. This utilizes the center of the dual piston. I have one for a single piston as well. And you shouldn't be like trying to really bear down on any of this stuff, otherwise your caliper's stuck. It's no good. So as long as you can push it back with moderate pressure, you're good to go. Pistons are back. So go ahead and grease on them other ones. I should have showed you how I was doing that. I just put a little on the slides. Again, the indicator goes on the inside. Pay attention, Rick. That one. That one. That one's on there. Find your caliper bolts. These happen to be a 17mm head on this. Again, this is a 2010 Acura TL. 3.5 liter all-wheel drive. couple of notes here. Probably gonna feel that ridge with your finger. When we go out and drive it, we're gonna do a couple of good brake applications. There's a little bit more of a ridge on the inside of this one. It's a little bit more substantial. When we go out and drive it, we're gonna do a couple of hard brake applications to make sure the pads are seated and you don't get the squeaking on that edge. Wee, 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 wee. It's pretty common on these, so and going out and burnishing your brake pads to the rotor is going to be key. All right, so on your Acura here, this cover is going to cover up your master cylinder for your brakes. I'm going to throw you there and this here, and the cover says use only .3 or .4. Well, you shouldn't be mixing .3 and .4. Whatever. What do I know? So you got a little screen in there, which is okay. And I've seen people use everything from fucking hydraulic oil to everything you can imagine to try to use it for brake fluid. Just buy fucking brake fluid. So in this situation, I was actually going to have my wife come out and help me bleed brakes, but when I went in the house, she's doing her hair, so I could patiently wait and do other shit, or I could do it myself. All right, so we're gonna bleed some brakes. This is our brake bleeding tool. The ice scraper snow brush. Go in the vehicle. I got the bleeder screw open on the right rear. Go in here, push down on the brake pedal. Stick that bastard against the seat, like that. Go over here. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass if you're by yourself, but take that, tighten it up, leave the wrench there. Come over here. Take the scraper out. Back over here again. Loosen it up good. Don't just crack it, loosen it up good, because you want to make it as easy as possible for yourself here. You can feel the brake pedal. Wedge it in the seat. If it's a nicer seat, put a towel on it. In this case, it's not that nice of a seat, so. Same process. Repeat, repeat, repeat. All right, so that's a pretty simple way to bleed the brakes if you're by yourself and you're in a pinch. It's easier if you got a buddy there to pump the brake pedal for you, but that'll get you through in a pinch. So next step is going to be to throw the tires on. You should probably fire it up, make sure your pedal feels okay. Both bleeders are closed. Everything there is good to go. So go ahead, start the thing up. Just make sure your brake pedal feels like it should. And at first it should be a little bit spongy because you need to push the calipers out and seat the brake pads. Doesn't feel too bad. Okay. That's done. We just need to put the tires back on. But before we put the tires back on, we're going to change oil on this thing because the oil filter is right there and it's so much easier to do when the tires are off. And we'll kick that off because when we're laying underneath the car, it will come down on you and it'll splatter and make a mess in your face. And yeah, so drain pan, change the oil filter, and then we'll get underneath and drop the oil itself. Okay. This Valvoline filter, we use, as everybody probably knows, we use Napa Gold filters here. 7356, that's your filter number. So we're gonna get this one off here. We'll spin a new one on. The bulge in that O-ring is interesting, isn't it? Huh. Take a little bit of oil, put on your O-ring, clean oil that's coming out of there. It doesn't. You just need a little bit of lubricant on that ring so it'll slip when you tighten it up instead of bunching up the O-ring, which is probably why that O-ring's distorted like that. And you don't have to get the damn thing super tight either. You don't have to go all fucking medieval on it and over tighten the bastard. So brake clean. Clean that shit off. Again, you want your customer coming back saying, hey, I got a oil leak. If you clean that son of a bitch off, shouldn't have an oil leak. Okay, you can probably see better than I can. Oil drain plug right there. 15 millimeter, is it? I'm just shooting from the hip here. Maybe bigger than that. Okay, it must be bigger than that. Slide the pan back until we can crack this thing loose. It's because I don't need 17 mil. Probably should have known that from the way everything else was. Crack that bad boy loose. That sure as hell better drain for a long time. Don't seem to be much in the way of oil in this thing. To be honest with you, I don't know what the oil capacity is. I'll have to look it up, but I guarantee you there's not enough in it. So people want to know why the cost of auto repair is so high. It's because you don't check your fucking oil. Might make a quart. Might. Holds 4.5. I just looked it up. That might make a quart. And at this point, it's not even worth cutting the oil filter because it doesn't matter. Shit don't last long when you don't check your fucking fluids, I can tell you right now. That's bullshit. So, we got the oil drop, we got the oil changed on it. I'll probably check some of the other shit out underneath the hood. We're gonna go ahead and throw a tire on it. We're gonna get 4.5 quarts of oil in this thing. This thing says 520. We're gonna go with a heavier weight oil because obviously we've probably made some clearance by not running any fucking oil in it. So we're gonna go with 5W30. We're not doing full send or any of that bullshit on here because, well, let's face it, why? I mean, just the fact that it'll have oil in it, it'll be okay. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. Napa Premium Performance, High Quality Protection, Synthetic Blend 5W30. Shit was on sale for like 12 bucks. And yeah, it's 4.5 quarts. You know, 4 times more than was in the damn thing. Got the little indicator over there, eh? I don't see any major leaks on the thing, so I'm assuming it's burning it, and they're way the fuck over on the oil change. So, out of courtesy, I'm going to give them the last half quart. So at least that way, they can't say they don't have fucking oil to put in this son of a bitch. Yeah. Okay. Funnel goes over here in our funnel collection, our fuctal collection. Somebody was here at first. Oil cap back on. And we give her a little look underneath just to make sure we don't have any. Obviously, we got water running because it's warm in here and we're thawing vehicles off, but we'll hop in here. Make sure you got oil pressure. That's good. Perfect. We want to check oil. This is how you check the fucking oil on the thing. Look at it. There's a dipstick for it. Clean the end of it off. In. Back out. And all your little fucking hash marks right there should be filled right up. She's perfect. It's not that fucking hard! Brake job and oil change on a 2010 Acura TL with a 3.5 liter. Oil change sticker and a test drive and we're done. So, there you go. This one's another project done in the shop. Another vehicle done. If you guys like what I'm doing, throw me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you haven't, ring the bell, get my notifications. Memberships are down there if you want one, and it helps me do stupid shit on my stuff on the channel. Obviously, some people are capable of doing that all by themselves. Anyway, see you guys on the next one. So on a side note here, normally on a 2010, 2009 and newer, you go 5,000 miles on the oil change. This one I'm gonna go 3,000 because obviously it has an oil consumption issue and they're not checking it when they're supposed to. So that would be wise. Again, they're not paying for the shit anyway, so have a discussion. If you're doing this for a person, for a customer, have a discussion with them about changing their oil more frequently and or learning how to check the shit. Just saying. In this case, well, neither one of them are going to. Chances are they're not going to come here for the next fucking service either because, you know, ignorance is bliss. So from here on out, if you're not going to have me maintain it and you're not going to allow me to help you out, you can fuck right off and take it somewhere else. There you go. Chances are they're not going to come here for the next fucking service either because, you know, ignorance is bliss. So from here on out, if you're not going to have me maintain it and you're not going to allow me to help you out, you can fuck right off and take it somewhere else. There you go.